this is MalorieASMR, and I hope this video gives you all the tingles or relaxation that you're wanting. Today's video, we're going to talk about all the books that I've read so far in 2022. I posted a video a couple months ago saying that I wanted to read at least 20 books this year, and your girl is happy to announce that she has read 11 books so far, and we're on track to meet her goal. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started and jump into the first book that I read for the year. So, let's get a thumbnail. First book is Scythe by Neil Shusterman. One of my favorite series of all time. I highly recommend it. It is a world with no hunger, no disease, no war, no misery. Humanity has conquered all those things and has even conquered death. Now scythes are the only ones who can end life, and they are commanded to do so in order to keep the size of the population under control. It is a wonderful book. There's compassion, there's evil, there's right and wrong, there's love, light love, but this book really makes you think. Yeah, I love it. It won the Michael Prince Award for Excellence in Young Adult Literature by the American Library Association. It is an honor book. So good. They are making a movie out of it. So yes, I highly recommend reading it, obviously, before the movie comes out. I think it's set to come out in 2023, 2024, we'll see. But yes, love it. Fantastic book. The next two books that I read are part of the Scythe series. So we have Thunderhead, another fantastic book in the series. And then the third was The Toll. Again, another fantastic book in the series. Highly recommend you guys read the Scythe series. So Scythe number 1, Thunderhead number 2, and The Toll number 3. So yes, please read them. They're so good. 5 out of 5 stars. Yes. So next we will go to, what's the next series that I read? Here it is. The next series that I read, I was interested in reading it due to Sadie Reads on TikTok. I found her on TikTok, and she said the Mirror Visitor series is one of her favorites. So I took her advice and I read the entire series. I loved it. Probably 4.5 out of 5. If maybe one day I'll go back and reread it. Comprehension for me, I read a lot really quickly. Also had the audiobook playing, and I don't know, it's really good. I think it has the potential to become a Netflix series, in my humble opinion. It is about a girl named Ophelia. She possesses 2 special gifts. She can touch an object and read the object's history or past, like she can see it. And she can also travel through mirrors. So if she has seen her reflection in a mirror, she can travel in through it and come out of another mirror that she's seen her reflection. That's the only way that she can travel from a mirror to another. She has to have seen her reflection in them before. She can only travel so far, though, so she does have her limitations. Anyways, So this is book number 1. It is A Winter's Promise. I did a video reading the first chapter in the book. So if you want to watch that video, please do. The second book in the series is The Missing of Claire de Lune. Wait. Yes, The Missing of Claire de Lune. Again, great book. I love the color of the books as well. So we have blue, yellow. The third book in the series is called The Memory of Babel. Fantastic. Loved it. I will edit that. So we have 1, 2, and 3. And then the fourth book doesn't come out in paperback until the end of the year. I think around August. And that book, I have to remember the title. I have to get out my Kindle. Let's see. The fourth book in the Mirror Visitor series, my dog, is called Where Are You? I can't find it. Give me 1 second. Okay, the fourth book is called The Storm of Echoes, and it is like the best way I can describe it. The color is good. The best way I can describe it is the color is kind of like this with the mix of orange, like a pale orange color, and I can't wait to get that book in paperback to complete my series. So the series is A Winter's Promise, The Missing of Claire de Lune, The Memory of Babel, and The Storm of Echoes. Really good series, loved it. Probably a 4 out of 5 total. I think I rated it a 5 out of 5 earlier this year, but after reading it, or after reading other books, probably a 4 out of 5. Sorry, Sadie, I know this is like your top ever. I think if I reread it and had the cliff notes with me and actually marked what my favorite parts were, it would be a 5 out of 5, but I don't know. Pretty good though. So that was books 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Next, I took a break from series and jumped into a standalone book called A Little Life by Anya Yanagihara. I took a step back from reading series because I wanted to like be one and done with the book. After reading so many series back to back, you kind of look at the series as one book instead of separate, and it kind of, when you look at it that way, you see like I have to read 1,500 pages, and it's kind of daunting. So I wanted a standalone book, but this one is like almost 800 pages, so I guess I didn't do that great. But anyways, I recommend this book. It's really good. The rumors are true. You really want to cry after reading this book multiple times. Yeah, lots of trigger warnings: suicide, eating disorders, drug use, drug abuse, domestic violence, sexual assault. The list goes on. This is a very touchy book, but so good. I recommend it. The ending is not my favorite, but you can't expect a happy ending always, but highly recommend this book. So that was book number 8. The next book, again, with the discouragement of I'm not reading enough books, but each book that I was reading had 400, 500, 600 pages each. Like, I wanted to feel Shirley Jackson. I forgot what other books she's read or written. They're one of her most famous collections or stories. I think it's been made into a series or a movie. Oh, A Haunting of Hill House. Shirley Jackson wrote that. So this kind of has an ominous feel to it, but I will say this is a 3 out of 5 for me, maybe 2.5 out of 5, just because when I read a book, I don't read for the literary, the metaphors. The author said the curtains were blue because why? Like, that's not why I read books. I read, tell me a story. I don't want to analyze a story more than I need to. And I feel like with this book, you absolutely needed to analyze it to get it. I even watched the movie afterwards because it is on Netflix. Movie was boring as hell. Honestly, it was, the book and movie are the exact same, which cool, that's great. They actually made a movie that was similar, but it didn't do anything for me. 2 out of 5. I mean, if you want to read it because it's a classic, cool. But I don't know. I feel like the movie could have been made scarier, like been made more haunting. But again, my humble opinion. If you want to read it, please do. But 2 out of 5 for me for We Have Always Lived in the Castle. Now, if you've read this and you really love it, tell me why. Because again, my genre that I really like is like sci-fi, fantasy, young adult, maybe adult fantasy, things like that. This obviously isn't it, so no surprise that I didn't like it. Book number 9. Now, book number 10 and 11 are from a series. Can you guess which one? Shadow and Bone by Lee Bardugo. It is a Netflix series. That's why I'm reading it first, so I can watch the Netflix series. I thought the first book was really good. I like this version of the book because the end has additional bonus material content, and in the bonus material, the author Lee, she does say she wrote Shadow and Bone with the intention of making it a series, but because she was doubtful on if it would have gotten picked up to, write more, she did kind of end it in a way that readers would be okay with not reading 2 and 3. Like, if she didn't get picked up to write books 2 and 3, she also kind of she wrote it in a way that it could be a standalone novel, or, people would be okay with where it ended. I'm glad that it got picked up because I personally would not have been okay if it ended the way it did, but I digress. So, really good book. And then I just finished Siege and Storm, which is book number 2 of the series. I can't wait to put her back on my bookshelf and flatten her out because I had my way with her. Really good book. I wasn't expecting the ending in this book. It kind of threw me, but then it made sense that it ended the way it did. And I'm currently on book 3, the final of the trilogy, so hopefully it comes to an end that I like. I'm very harsh because a lot of fantasy novels can't end the same way, so I'm hoping it's not cringy or what's the word? Guessable. That's not the right word. You guys know what I mean? I can't guess what's gonna happen. I really hope it keeps me on my toes. But yeah. So Siege and Storm. And that's books 10 and 11. And the last book in the series is called Ruin and Rising. And you can see what it looks like here. I have that book on my kitchen table. I'm reading it now. I didn't bring it, but those are all of the books that I've read this far. After Ruin and Rising, the next book that I want to read is, I Evelyn Hugo and her 7 husbands. Let me double check. The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I want to read that one, and I also want to read Ariadne. Those are just the ones that pique my interest right now. I already purchased Ariadne on my Kindle. So when I get to that, that's where I'll read it. And then The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, I have the book. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys want me to do more in-depth reviews of these books, I absolutely can. My best friend told me to make an Instagram that talks solely about books. But I don't know if people would follow it. I don't know, would you guys follow it if I did? If so, let me know down below. And if I get enough people that would want to follow me, or if you do want me to make more videos talking about books, let me know. I will say my best performing video does talk about books, so maybe that's a sign. But yeah, I think what I'll do now is get a little thumbnail of all the books that I've read this year. So let's do it. Watch me fumble. We gotta get them in order of reading order. So it's gonna be a little challenging. I'm gonna stack all my books here. Of course, I'm missing this storm of echoes, but that's okay. Alright, let's see if I can get a thumbnail. Okay, I think that's enough. They're not heavy, I just don't want them to fall. If you guys can tell, I like keeping my books in like really pristine condition. So I try. But until next time, guys, I really hope you enjoyed. Let me know. Give me some book recommendations down below. That would be sick. But yeah. Until next time, hope you guys have a wonderful, 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 wonderful morning,